Hello there, this is Bob Payne, but it's not a sermonette. I'm just touching bases with you because I've become involved in a little prayer program to encourage people to pray for revival. I put a post on Facebook to this extent, but I'll just mention it now. I've gained the use of a hall at the Frankston Baptist Church Hall in number 56 Ewell Street, Frankston. And this is if anybody's living, say, an hour's drive from this location. For the last couple of weeks, I've been inviting people to meet together with me at 3 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon. It's a bit like a Sabbath spiritual time together. And we are there to pray and to seek the Lord for revival, both at a personal level and also in a group situation. Because Australia certainly needs revival. So does our state, so does our city, so does our street. And I've asked people when they first came if they just reflect for a moment and go back in their Christian experience or journey and find and locate the time when they had their most significant spiritual experience, when the Lord was most real to them, when they were really fired up in their relationship with Jesus. And I paused and I asked you to do that. Just do that yourself and just think of that time. And then regard that as 10 out of 10, back there at the high point that you're remembering. And my question of you right now is, where are you now in relation to that high point? Are you lower or higher? Most people I've discovered are not where they have been in the past. In other words, the tide has gone out. The fire has cooled down. And we're not quite where we know we should be. Well, if you're like that and you're within an hour's drive of Frankston, we're meeting together to really seek the Lord to, if you like, rekindle the fire. Now, one of the bases of our getting together, I got this book 50 years ago. It's called The Power of His Presence. The Power of His Presence by a man named Graham Truscott. It was given to me by a Pentecostal preacher in 1972, 50 years ago, when we were just entering into charismatic renewal. And it was a revelation, this book, and it's been sitting on the shelf ever since. And about a month or so ago, I rediscovered it. And what I'm doing on these Saturday afternoon sessions is I'm simply reading a chapter of this book and handing out a copy of that chapter to everybody. And then we sing some psalms and some hymns and some spiritual songs. And then we pray together, and then we have a communion service, a time of baking bread and sharing the cup one with another, and breaking bread with each other, and getting involved at a spiritual level. And then as the need arises, we pray for people, lay hands on folk, and it's a time of personal renewal, just seeking God afresh and calling upon the name of the Lord. And I'm excited about it. We're not sort of changing the world. We're not getting run over with crowds. They're just a handful of us. But I thought that there may be folk around who watch my sermonettes who are in the region and would be interested in getting together with me. It's not run by any church. It's just purely something I've initiated myself. Folk have been from different churches, and some really not attending churches, but we're just looking to seek the Lord. So the purpose of this little talk is to invite you. If you are within driving distance of Frankston, and that's as long as a piece of string, if you know what I mean, then why don't you come down and join us at 3 o'clock? We go for about 90 minutes, and I believe that you'll be encouraged, you'll be inspired, you may find some fresh spiritual direction. And so it's not a church service. It's a time of like-minded people seeking God. It's reminiscent of when we used to meet together in the 1970s. Actually, it was in our house. And we used to sing psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs, and we share our experiences with the Lord. Then we'd get into ministry praying for one another. And that's when we began to move into the gifts and the fruit of the Spirit in a new way. So the purpose of this little message is basically to give you an invitation. If you are able to travel that distance, and you have an inclination, or you have folk like-minded of yourself you'd like to bring with you, just turn up. It's 3 p.m. Every Saturday at 3 p.m. And it's just a time of blessing. And if you want to have touch from the Lord afresh. This won't interfere with your own church commitments at all. This is not a church takeover. It's not another church. It's just a group of like-minded people who want to get fired up afresh. They were sick and tired of being sick and tired. You know, church has become pretty ho-hum for a lot of people today. Even so-called Pentecostal and charismatic churches have lost a good deal of their fire, and they're becoming more traditionalized. That's not a criticism. That's just an observation. So there it is. That's a welcome. If you have a desire to go on with the Lord more than you are and have fellowship with like-minded people, well, 56 Ewell Street, Frankston, every Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. You're more than welcome. So blessings to you, and I believe that you'll get really blessed as we share this book. It's really to do with the theme. It was a new theme to me, and I haven't heard a lot of people preach about it since, but it's dealing with the rebuilding or the restoring or the recovering of the Tabernacle of David. It's a fascinating subject. It's at a high level of spiritual reality and personal experience. So I invite you to, if you couldn't find something better than this on a Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. at 56 Ewell Street, and I look forward to seeing you there. God bless you, and keep fired up.